some tapping. Give me a second to invite Dr. Gina here. Being on anxiety, uncertainty, all of that. I'll explain what it is, how to use it, who can use it, all that good stuff. We'll be with you for maybe about 15, 20 minutes. We'll see. We're going to do a live tapping session also. So Dr. Gina should be getting on. There she is. Hi. Okay. Yes. Okay. Here we go. Oh, I see. Okay. Accept. It's not letting her join. Let's see. It's not working. Ah, there you are.
I'm here.
How
Hi.
are you? It kept saying unable to join.
I'm like, no, I'm here. I know. It's really complicated sometimes to get on. So, hi.
I know, I haven't. How are you?
I'm good. I'm
I
hanging
see
in
you in
there.
your home studio there.
Yes, I am
Yes.
hanging. Just it's a rainy day, and
Yeah.
I was feeling a little overwhelmed today when I woke up, and just with all the chaos in the world, and I don't know, my feminine body was feeling a little uneasy. So
Mhm.
today,
Yeah.
what we had planned was going to be a good idea.
I know. It's funny because I'll let Gina introduce herself in a second, but she is my wonderful physical therapist, and I'll let you tell more about what you do. But we had planned this last week, and then we had a conversation a little bit earlier about what you just said, and it's like how perfect because so many people, women in particular, are feeling the same thing. So why don't you go ahead and just share whatever you'd like to about you?
Hi, I am a physical therapist. I help people understand their emotions and life experiences and how they've manifested in their physical body through symptoms and illness and accidents and you name it, everything. And kind of helping people understand the emotional body and how to understand it in terms of energy and then how to move it and then physically move it. So, yeah, that's
Awesome.
what I do.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about tapping today, and thank you for being my guinea pig because I know you don't know a lot about this, which is actually perfect. Um, we're going to talk a little bit about what tapping is, how to use it, who can use it, when and where, all that good stuff, and then I will take you through. We'll actually do like a live session.
Mm.
So if anybody's watching live, oh, scared
Sorry.
me. You can ask questions. If you're watching the replay, you can type in your questions and you can tap along. So I know I asked you this earlier, but just share maybe what it is that you know about tapping. I know it's not that much, and the reason I ask is because so many people have heard of it but don't really know what it is, but think they should.
Yeah, same. I mean, that's it. So as a physical therapist, you can have lots of different tools in your toolbox, and I've heard of it. I don't know it, but I think I might understand that it can help maybe change the emotional or mind state that you are currently in. And it seems like a relatively quick tool that you could use that helps change that. That's about all I know, even if that's right.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So people have heard of this called different things. Tapping is the most common, EFT, which stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. They're all the same thing. So sometimes people have heard of one, not the other. And basically, it is a really simple, quick tool that you can use anywhere. It's a really powerful mind-body technique. So when we're young, our emotions and thoughts actually get mapped out in our nervous system. So just using as an example, I work with a lot of women around money. So using as an example, if I ask you to think about how much money you have in your savings account, and then I ask people what they're thinking or feeling, the most common things that come up is fear, anxiety, and it's not enough. Okay, that is, and it doesn't matter if you have $3 or $3 million in your savings account because your nervous system is wired to react that way when you think about your savings. So that's true of every belief that we have. Some beliefs serve us and are uplifting, but a lot of stuff that we learned when we were young was meant to keep us safe, and we don't need it anymore. And depending on your age, some of that stuff is just outdated. Like that just isn't what we believe or know to be true anymore.
True.
So tapping has a ton of studies that show that it's effective and why, and I'm not going to go into all that, but it really is science backed. So because some people think it's really woo woo. So if that's something that interests you, go and check that out. And what it is, it's this tool that we can use to literally instantly calm the nervous system down. And you can do it anywhere, at any time. And going back to what I was saying about things being mapped into our nervous system. So we can actually use tapping to clear those limiting beliefs and then reprogram. I know. So do you have any questions about that so far? Okay.
That's great.
And then another question that I get a lot is, who can do tapping? And honestly, anybody. Adults, kids, you can even do it on little babies. So this is for anybody. It's free. You can do it anywhere. We're going to go through a tapping session, but one thing I want to just mention, because a lot of people don't know this, if you are in a public place and you don't want to be tapping on different parts of your body, you can actually tap on your little fingernail, and it has the same effect. So that's really great. Like if you're at work, you're in a public place, you're at the store, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling scared or overwhelmed, you can start to tap and kind of go through the little script in your head, and it has the exact same effect. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
I like that. I'm going to be in the airport tomorrow, so that's
perfect. Oh yeah. There's nothing quite as anxiety inducing as the airports, especially these days, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So there are lots of different points for tapping, and they're based on the Chinese meridians. So the points that I generally use, we start on the side of the hand here. You can tap with one or two fingers, like usually, and just like a light tapping on the side of the hand, and you can do either or. And this is called the karate chop. Okay. And then the other points that I use, and I use this with all of my clients and all of my sessions. So I'll tend to use points that are in the upper body so they can be seen on camera, but there are many points. So the first point is right on this little bone inside the eyebrow. And it doesn't have to be super precise. If you're off a little bit, it's okay. Then we go on the little bone right at the top of the temple, right on the outside of the eyebrow, right there. Then under the eye, under the nose, and this little cleft, under the chin, and that little spot there. Then there's the collarbone point, just, around where your collarbone is, a little below the collarbone. You just tap on it. And then a lot of people use this under the arm point, which I don't know if you can see, kind of under, like where the bra line would be.
Oh, okay.
I have a tendency,
like in the middle of that?
Yeah, I have a tendency not to use that one so much, just because it is hard to see sometimes on camera. And then there are other points, on your hands. So again,
Yeah.
So what we do when we first, well, do you have any questions? And if not, we'll just kind of get started.
So those are just general points that you can choose anywhere you feel comfortable with and whatever script you're actually working on? Okay.
Yes, and you can actually do a Google search and you'll find that there are other points. Some people tap on the inside of the ankle or the outside of the ankle. There are all kinds of points in the body, and so it doesn't really matter. You can't do it wrong, and I think that's the most important thing for people to understand. Whatever you hit, it'll get them.
A certain point doesn't mean a certain thing.
No. Oh, that's a good question. No,
Yeah.
It's not related to anything specific. It's just these are different points that we use in general. Okay, and so when we tap, we can either tell a story. It's best to speak out loud. If you're in a place where you can't do that, that's okay. Although I will say that sometimes I whisper under my breath. So it is best to speak out loud, but if you have to just do it in your head, that's okay. We can say different phrases, which we will do. But also if you have a story, something maybe that really bothered you, maybe you were like, just as an example, if you were bullied when you were a kid or a teenager, and you think about that and it upsets you, you can actually tell that story out loud as you tap. You can just imagine yourself talking to your friend or your mom or whoever that is, and it has the same effect. Okay. Doesn't matter what you say, It's just a matter of doing it. So what we generally do is we do a couple rounds, and we're going to focus on whatever it is that you're feeling, whether that be fear, anxiety, uneasiness, whatever, and I'll ask you that in a minute. And then we go through a round where we tap on what I will say with air quotes as negative. And I say that because a lot of people get stuck on, oh, I don't want to be negative, I just want to be positive, especially if you've done any law of attraction work. You think that, oh, if I say it out loud, I'm going to attract that to me. But it's not true, because you already believe this deep in your subconscious body. So what we're actually doing is we're giving these fears, these thoughts a voice. And we're actually just telling the truth of how we feel. And then we'll keep going, and then we shift things into a more quote unquote positive route. And the idea is, what is it that you want? So we'll start with where you are, and then I'll ask you sort of like what you would like to be feeling, what you would like to have. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So when we start with the tapping, what we do is I want you to think about whatever it is that you want to sort of go through right now, and you can give me as general or as specific an idea as you like, and then I'm going to ask you any thoughts or feelings that are coming up.
Okay. So I'm telling you what I'm feeling at the moment. You know, I'm feeling like generationally in my family there was, a lot of suppression as a female in her power and any kind of whether it be voice, emotions, feelings, boundaries, whatever it might be, like that was so suppressed. And I am kind of anything but that, but yet it's still difficult at times. It's always difficult to do it. Like I hesitate, I self-doubt, so I have to like think about it 50 times before I actually like go and do it, versus it just naturally surfacing and feeling more comfortable like myself, I would say.
And when you say do it, are you referring to anything in particular, just putting yourself out there, or a specific kind of?
Like I think putting myself out there, like just in the education, the knowledge that I know, and forthcoming with it without any judgment of myself. It's just knowledge that I know and I've learned, and feeling like relaying that information. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really tripping out because actually I'm just putting this together, that I did a past life regression session, and this is actually what it was.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it's like connecting it to like the actual like physical feeling in my body, right?
Yes. Yeah, I do. I regress people into past lives, and it often we see this theme that you're describing, and I think as women right now in the US, we're like really seeing this come to the surface, which is really triggering for a lot of people. Yes. So when you think about putting yourself out there, in whatever way that is, what is it that you feel? Whether it be emotions or like a physical feeling?
I think it's fear.
Okay.
And self-doubt, fear.
Okay. And is there any particular thought that is coming up? Like when I said, oh, it's not enough, is there a thought or just more the feeling?
Thought is like it's too much. Like that's too much.
Okay. It's too much. Okay. And what do you want to have?
I don't want to have that thought at all. Like I just want to like not even think about it. I just want to say what I feel, and with no hesitation, like that it's me and it's coming from me.
Okay. And what do you want to feel? Like what feelings would you say you would want to have?
I want to feel like good about it, with like confidence and security, and I don't know. Oh, there's like a little bit of peace in there too, like just peaceful with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, good. So what we do when we start on the karate chop, we're gonna do this 3 times, and then I'll have you repeat. You'll repeat out loud after me. Okay. But I like to keep these sessions really fluid. So if something really resonates, tell me. If something else comes up, tell me, and we will go and move with that. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So when you start tapping on the crud chop point, we say, even though,
Even though,
and then we'll fill in the blank. So even though I don't feel as confident as I would like,
even though I don't feel as confident as I would like,
I deeply and completely
I deeply and completely
love and accept myself.
love and accept myself.
And take a deep breath as you say these things. Even though it's difficult to put myself out there,
Even though it's difficult to put myself out there,
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Even though the generations of women before me have been silenced,
Even though the generations of women before me have been silenced,
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and
And
completely
completely.
love and accept myself.
Good. And we're going to start tapping through the points. This isn't new.
This isn't new.
This is a feeling that has been going around for generations.
This is a feeling that has been going around for generations.
And I feel scared.
And I feel scared.
I feel self-doubt.
I feel self-doubt.
It's hard to put myself out there.
It's hard to put myself out there.
How is this resonating so far?
It's like the energy is gone up and it's like going down and it's like sitting down into my gut
Okay.
in a good way. It's like, wow, like it's powerful.
I feel it in my gut.
I feel it in my gut.
I'm carrying a lot
I'm carrying a lot.
from all the women that have come before me.
Makes me emotional. All the women that have come before me.
Good. And that's actually a good point, because if emotion comes up, it's okay to let it out. Any emotion that comes up is ready to be released. And actually, a lot of times people do cry a little bit when we do these things.
Yeah.
And that's these things coming up out of the nervous system, out of the body.
Yeah.
We want to get them out of the body before they create illness, as you know.
Yeah.
Keep tapping.
Feel the emotional. Do I keep going?
Yeah, keep tapping. We'll keep tapping while you talk. Go ahead and talk.
No, I feel a little nausea in my tummy, like a little uneasiness, but I feel tears in my eyes. I feel a heaviness before me, like something that's definitely in my body, but beyond my body as well. And
because this comes from other lives.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Yeah.
Very deep.
And I give my nervous system permission.
And I give my nervous system permission
to release this heaviness.
to release this heaviness.
To release the fear.
To release the fear.
To release the self-doubt.
To release the self-doubt.
To show me where I've been stuck.
To show me where I've been stuck.
Take deep breaths. Yeah, good. All of the events in the world right now.
All the events in the world right now.
Are bringing this up.
Are bringing this up.
They're triggering me as a woman.
They're triggering me as a woman.
This isn't my first rodeo.
This is not my first rodeo.
And I know I've been killed as a witch before.
And I know, I've been killed as a witch before.
No wonder I'm freaking out a little bit.
No wonder I'm freaking out a little bit.
Or a lot.
Or a lot.
I'm freaking out.
I'm freaking out.
Feels very unsafe to be me right now.
Feels very, very unsafe to be me right now.
It's causing me a lot of anxiety.
Causing me a lot of anxiety.
And a lot of fear.
And a lot of fear.
And I acknowledge those feelings.
And I acknowledge those feelings.
And I give them a voice.
And I give them a voice.
It makes sense.
It makes sense.
No wonder I'm feeling unsafe.
No wonder I'm feeling unsafe.
All the women that came before me
All the women that came before me
had no choice.
had no choice.
They couldn't do anything. On your collarbone here. Yeah.
They couldn't do anything.
They couldn't make money.
They couldn't make money.
They couldn't support themselves.
They couldn't support themselves.
A lot of them were basically forced to have a bunch of kids.
A lot of them were forced to have a bunch of kids.
And if they couldn't, they were discarded.
And if they couldn't, they were discarded.
And God knows what I've experienced in a past life.
And God knows what I've experienced in a past life.
But it's hard to experience this life right now.
But it's hard to experience this life right now.
So I give myself permission.
I give myself permission
to just feel what I feel.
to just feel what I feel.
Okay, we're going to take a break for a moment. I want you to take a deep breath in. And how are you feeling now compared to when we started?
I feel activated, like good. Like it was overwhelming for that second where that emotion was coming up. And then I think as you turn the dialogue, it felt like when we were relating to other women, then I didn't feel all alone. And I knew it was coming from somewhere. And then my body started to calm down. So now I feel more, what's a word? I feel more calm, but I actually feel more empowered.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So one thing I forgot to do at the beginning, I will ask you right now, we generally rate these feelings on a scale of 1 to 10. So right now, 1 being the least, 10 being the most, where do you feel the fear?
Like maybe a 2.
Okay, where would you say it was at the beginning?
Like an 8.
Okay, and what about the self-doubt? How do you feel right now?
Self-doubt is like a 9. Like I don't,
Okay.
meaning I don't feel it. Is that right? Yeah, I don't feel so.
The 9 is the highest.
sorry.
So 0 is
I'm sorry. Yeah, self-doubt. Sorry. No, it's low. It's
One.
like a 2, 1 or 2. Yeah.
Okay, and what would you say it was in the beginning?
Oh, like a 9. Yeah.
Okay, and what about that thought of it's too much? How does that feel right now?
Gosh, it's such a trip. Low, like a 1.
Okay, and what was it when we started, would you say?
Like a 7 or 8.
Okay. Okay, good. So look at that with just a few minutes of this tapping, how all of that has gone down. We're going to do a second round now, and we're going to focus more on sort of that empowerment, that calmness, the things we want to bring in. So you can already see how the nervous system is really calming down. If you're doing a round like this and something is really triggering, you can just stay on that one. You can literally repeat the same thing over and over for however long you do the session. So we're going to keep tapping now. I'm feeling a lot calmer.
I'm feeling a lot calmer.
This is pretty surprising.
This is pretty surprising.
This is a tool that can help.
This is a tool that can help.
I feel more empowered.
I feel more empowered.
I feel more connected to other women.
I feel more connected to other women.
I feel more resourceful.
I feel more resourceful.
We need to be resourceful.
We need to be resourceful.
And this is a tool.
And this is a tool
that can literally help me tap into that.
That can literally help me tap into that.
This is so powerful.
This is so powerful.
And I know that I'm not the only one that's feeling this.
And I know that I'm not the only one that's feeling this.
I believe there is a bigger purpose to all of the chaos.
I believe there is a bigger purpose to all the chaos.
And I know the black sheep.
And I know the black sheep.
We've come in here to create something new.
We've come in here to create something new.
But Lord, is this triggering.
But Lord, is this triggering?
So I'm giving myself permission to trust,
So I'm giving myself permission to trust,
even though I have no idea how to do that,
even though I have no idea how to do that,
because everything still feels really scary.
because everything still feels very scary.
And both things can be true at the same time.
And both things can be true at the same time.
I can feel scared and
I
hopeful.
can feel scared and hopeful.
I can feel peace.
I can feel peace.
I can feel confident.
I can feel confident.
I can feel safe in speaking from my heart.
I can feel safe in speaking from my heart.
And it's okay if I feel scared too.
And it's okay if I feel scared too.
I just have to take baby steps.
I just have to take baby steps.
And that doesn't feel so overwhelming.
And that doesn't feel so overwhelming.
I don't have to do everything.
I don't have to do everything.
And I most definitely don't have to do it all today.
And I don't have to do it all today.
I know that it's important to connect with other women.
I know that it's important to connect with other women.
And I'm here for that.
And I'm here for that.
I know I have a lot of knowledge to share.
I know I have a lot of knowledge to share.
And I'm ready to share.
And I'm ready to share.
I'm ready to step into my power.
I'm ready to step into my power.
And I'm bringing all of those women from my generation with me.
And I'm bringing all of those women from that generation with me.
I'm bringing all the women from past generations with me.
I'm bringing all the women from past generations with me.
Because when I heal my body and my mind and my heart,
Because when I heal my body, my mind, and my heart,
their souls also heal.
their souls also heal.
And what beautiful work is that?
And what beautiful work is that?
We're lifting all of these women up with us.
We're lifting all of these women up with us.
Past, present, and future.
Past, present, and future.
And that's why I'm here.
And that's why I'm here. Wow.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Take a deep breath.
Wow.
How does that feel? How are you feeling?
I feel great. I feel, gosh, I was like speechless. I feel good. I feel really good. I feel like I'm sitting in my power, like I'm connected to myself, like I know my worth. I can use my voice and do it with love.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. So this was, I don't even know what time it is, but that was like a very short time, and feel that shift. I want you to think back right now on that scale of 1 being the least, 10 being the most. Where is the fear?
Oh, one.
And what about that self-doubt?
One.
And the feeling of it's too much?
One.
So look at how much that shifted in about 15 or 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And this work is cumulative. So like even if you do, 3 minutes at a time every day, it builds on it. And when that emotion comes up, it's so important to let it out, because that's a huge release. Another other ways that people release, if you yawn a lot.
Yes.
Some people's ears will pop, or after this, you might feel tired. So it's really good, especially if you feel like you've had a big emotional release, to drink some extra water. Other ways you can kind of just shake off that energy that's been released is to take a bath with salt, like Epsom salts. That helps to just release that energy. Water, if you can go out in the sun. I know today it's raining here in Southern California. That almost never happens. And again, you can just do this anywhere, anytime, telling a story. You can write a script. I'm happy to help, if anybody needs help with like a little script, things like that.
I think you're pretty darn good at that, because that script that's just coming. Half the time I'm sitting here like, wow, she is so good at this.
Yes.
You're really good.
Thank you.
What
Yeah, so it's whatever comes up.
yeah.
And if you find a place that does feel very emotional, you just stay there. And you can even speak to whatever that feels like. Ooh, it feels unsafe to feel this. It feels gross. It feels yucky I don't want to cry. Whatever it is that comes up, because people get a little stuck. Do not hold that emotion in the body. It wants out. It's been there for a long time.
Yes. Yeah. It's great. I feel very activated and energized too. Like I can feel my body buzzing in a good way, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
Do you have any questions or comments or anything about this?
No, I think this is fantastic. It's a great tool. I love in my practice, it's bringing attention to people and helping them understand what they're feeling. Like they don't understand interoception, like the senses that we feel inside and how to describe them a lot of times. Like you have to kind of increase that vocabulary and that connection. So I love this because it kind of changes the states in which you're feeling, and you can start to identify what it is in a quicker way, so they can start to understand the difference between how they feel every day, and then when a certain emotion activates, like what does that feel like, and then what does that feel like? Like that's where we move the energy of it, right?
Right. Yeah, and I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist, and I'm a sound healer. I do have a lot of tools, and I will just say that the tapping in particular seems to really go to the source, the root of the issue very, very quickly
Um,
in a way that nothing else really seems to do. So I
I
love this tool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great. Thank you. I'm so
yeah,
thank you so much. I needed
yeah.
that today.
Great. I mean, thank you so much for joining me. This was really fun, and I hope we can do some more, collaboration, some more lives together, whatever it is that looks
Yeah,
like.
absolutely.
Um,
I'd love
yeah,
to.
I don't see any questions here, but if anybody is watching the replay, feel free to ask questions or send either messages to either Gina or to me, and we'd love to connect.
Thank
Yes,
you. I'd love
we'll see you
to.
soon.
See ya.
Okay,
Thanks so
bye.
much.
Have a safe
Bye.
trip tomorrow.
Thank you.